Happy Friday!
Happy Friday.
It's the last Friday in April, Kurt Cruz.
I'm aware of that. Is that an exciting thing?
No, I'm like, how did we get here so quickly? Like, I don't even know. I feel like an old person saying, oh my God, time is flying so fast. Like,
I can't stop the music.
please don't stop the music.
There we go. I think we're good now. It's a Friday. Yes. Welcome, Kurt and Jen in the Morning, the podcast. What happened to our show opener music?
Please like, subscribe, follow, comment, rate, review, give us 5 stars, any of the things that you can do to interact with us on any platform, whatever platform you're consuming this podcast on. We would love it so much.
On the program today, you know what? There's a way that you are mowing your lawn the wrong way, and we're going to share that with you.
There's actually many ways, and we're going to share those with you. If you haven't already heard the 2025 People Magazine's Most Beautiful Person and things women think are embarrassing, but men don't care about.
That's a long list, probably. Your expensive purchases that were totally worth it, and that was our question of the day from Wednesday, so you certainly chimed in on that. Also, a serious health risk. It's relatively recent, and you may not know about this, and you may be putting yourself at slight risk. Slight risk.
Okay, and it's, of course, Fun Facts Friday, but first, Kurt Cruz.
What's that?
Well, I got this. So let me just set this up. I get this little video from Kurt Cruz via text. And I'm like, why is Kurt sending me a video? And it starts with just the lawn, outside lawn.
Right.
But then I start watching the video and I freak out. It prompted a FaceTime call to Kurt as soon as the video ended out. Kurt's family has grown by 8 feet.
8 feet. Yes, we Dana and I are fostering a pair of little German Shepherd puppies for the time being, which may end up being forever, but you never know. Here's photos for those who can see. Can you see those two?
Yes, if you're watching on YouTube. And Kurt, you'll post this. Will you post this on Kurt and Jen in the Morning Facebook page? Okay.
And this is. It's been a long time since we've had puppies in the house. Let me say I forgot what it was all about. Here's the wake up this morning.
Are you a little tired?
You. Tails are wagging.
Oh my God. Does it fill your heart with so much joy, Kurt?
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. So
names?
And what's that?
What are their names? I mean,
the names they were given, and we got these from Washington German Shepherd Rescue, which I highly recommend. Sinclair is, well, when I showed the video, Sinclair is the one in the pink collar, and Shiloh is the one in the purple collar, but those names will probably change.
I mean, they're so cute. Macy, my 15-year-old daughter, immediately, when she saw the video, immediately looked at me and said, can we go over there right now?
It's well, you know what? Puppies are awesome, except when you're trying to do anything. It was the first night with them, and they were good. They slept through the night. There was no crying and whining and stuff like that. Of course, they were in the human bed, which is probably a mistake, but I
mean, Kurt, those dogs are going to get big. If you train them to be in your bed, you're going to have to get like a mega king size 2 of them beds.
Yeah, possibly. That's okay.
In all seriousness, I want to tell you something. Here is why I was so excited, because I know how much you love dogs, specifically German Shepherds. And I also know that you could use some joy in your life. So this made my heart so happy for you and Dana.
Thank you, Jen. They're pretty awesome. And with night 1 is behind us. So we'll see. They were good. Although one of them, I guess it was Shiloh, seemed to want to sleep on my head. So that was made for an interesting sleeping night.
I can't wait to see how this fostering situation turns out for you, because I have a feeling, like you said, it might end up as a forever thing.
Oh, I hadn't considered that, but
no, of course not.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And we'll get Macy over here soon to see the pups, right?
Yeah.
All right. So
Ways you're mowing your lawn wrong. By the way, I cannot wait to meet them. I want to be over there soon.
Okay.
Ways you're mowing your lawn wrong. Well, first of all, I barely mow my lawn because it's mostly weeds, so it ends up being a weed whacking job. But Kurt, you do
Right.
mow your lawn, and I want you to tell us ways that you might be mowing it wrong.
Well, I want to see if I am mowing the lawn wrong because I mean, I've been mowing lawn since I was probably 12. So let's see. What are some of the things?
Always mowing in the same direction. You probably alternate on each pass and go back and forth, but they mean switching it up every time you mow, like do a pass opposite of how you did it last time. So does
Right.
that mean like if you're going across your lawn the long way, go the short way the next time?
Yes, I think that's what it's saying. And I had heard that, or maybe you do it in a diagonal for a nice little design.
Oh, you want to know why? I will tell you why. It's always nice to know the why. If you always mow the lawn in the same direction, the grass is going to grow in that direction. It basically trains it to lean that way, and it's not great for the grass or the soil.
Okay. Okay, that one I knew, but that is good. That is good. A good tip. How about what else? Give me some more.
Starting in the middle, most it's mostly inefficient because you have to mow your mower around the yard more. So it's bad for the grass. Ideally, you just want to make one pass over each part of your yard and not have to roll your heavy mower over it again.
I never even considered starting in the middle of your yard and working your way out. That seems pretty bizarre.
Yeah.
All right.
Using the wrong mower for the job. Do you really need a riding mower? They're hard to maneuver if your yard isn't big enough. Do you have a riding mower, Kurt Cruz?
We do for Dana's yard is a whole third of an acre. So there's well, my wife obviously lives with me, but she has her house in Mukilteo that we're renting out to her mom for the low price of almost free.
The only there's no bitterness there.
No, there's no bitterness. It's friends and family discount. That's what happens. But we did get a riding mower for her for that to do the third of an acre yard. But no, your yard, my yard are way too small to need that.
The general rule is you only need a riding mower if you're cutting half an acre or more. Most people aren't and should stick with a push mower instead.
All right. Anything else?
Yep, you should never sharpen the blades. Dull blades can tear your grass.
Wait. You should never sharpen your blades?
Oh, you've never sharpened the blades. That's how you're doing it wrong. You've
Okay.
never.
All right.
Sorry, my bad. Thank you
That's
for
all right.
telling me to read better.
That's all right. Yeah. So yeah, dull blades are bad. Although I have never in my life had the blade sharpened. I suppose it's easy to do yourself. I've just never done it.
You can buy a sharpener online for $10. There you go. Just don't get them too sharp because that's not good either. Razor sharp blades are more likely to chip if they hit a rock. Okay, there you go. See,
Thank
now
you,
you can
Jen.
mow your lawn better.
Good stuff. Things that women think are embarrassing, but guys don't really care about.
I want to get your take on these, Kurt, for real.
Okay.
Okay, so I mean, this truly is just a list of things that girls think are embarrassing or women think are embarrassing, but men actually don't care.
Okay.
Um,
Oh,
all
I do
right.
see the list.
People seeing your house not being perfectly cleaned.
We had to clean the house up because we had a guest coming to town. So the house is pretty, the rooms that people will be in are perfectly cleaned. This particular office is not perfectly cleaned. So
Sneezing naturally. Several ladies I know hold their sneezes in. Ooh, that's bad for your health.
yeah, don't hold your sneezes in. Let them fly.
And
How about?
I mean, I don't find that sneezing is embarrassing or mortifying or whatever.
I
But
didn't think
do
so. What
you
about number
judge
three
women? What
on the
about
list?
when women burp or pass gas?
Awesome.
You don't you encourage it?
Well, I don't encourage it, but okay, it happens.
I was just reading a headline somewhere that's, I mean, I think it might be fake news, but it said couples that fart together stay together.
I don't think that's fake news at all. That sounds like you're really comfortable with each other, and that's probably true. Other things that people, it says that women in general are embarrassed about, men don't care. Driver's license photos. Would you show people your driver's license photo, Jen?
Sure.
Okay. Re-wearing the same outfit. Guys don't care about that. How about an acne flare-up? Oh, all right.
Okay, I do want to know this for real. Would you judge either person if there were two women at a party wearing the same outfit?
Would I judge? No, I don't think so. I'd say, well, that's unusual. I don't think I would judge.
Right. But for women, it's like, shit. Oh, shoot. She has the
Yes.
same outfit as I do.
I can see how that's embarrassing. You know what? I think if I showed up at a party or any place with other people wearing the exact same outfit as another dude, I would be like, oh, this is awkward.
Okay, these are good ones because I
Go.
do. I find these embarrassing and a big deal.
What's
And
that?
I like it makes me self-conscious even around Pat. Scars, stretch marks, cellulite. Do guys care?
I have
I
way too
think
many
they do.
scars to care about that. I get big scar on my gut from when I had my spleen out. I got a scar right here. I got a scar on my head.
Okay, that's nice. I should have left that one out. Stretch marks, cellulite.
I don't know that I don't know that I have stretch marks. I'm sure that I do.
Oh, for women, do you care? Like, is it a big
Oh,
deal?
oh, I'm sorry. Eh. I mean,
Yeah.
when you're young and when we're all young and have perfect bodies, that's one thing. But I think as time goes on, you have to accept, what are you going to say? I'm 50 and I've had 3 kids. I've got stretch marks. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah,
That's not
they're tummy pouches, like they're like
that's not
because
fair.
I will tell you, I've never had a tummy pouch ever. Like my abs have been strong, and I will tell you, since I've been going through perimenopause, my belly is like, what is happening to my body? And it makes me very self-conscious.
Okay. I mean, I don't think you need to be, but who am I to say that? I haven't noticed.
You're it's not a big deal if a woman has like a little bit of a belly, you're not
Well,
gonna.
it's been a while since I've seen you naked, so I don't know what's changed. But
I'm in general, Kurt Cruz, and you've never seen me naked.
yes, I could see how people would be embarrassed about that.
Okay, some
Am I
of the
supposed to
other
say? Am I supposed to say my feeling is like? Would I judge people for that, or am I supposed to say
no,
should they
it's
be
this
embarrassed?
is a list of things that women find embarrassing, like they're like self-conscious
Okay,
about, but men actually don't care about it.
got it. So so yes, I think that I would not care about a tummy pouch on myself, but
What about if a woman like finishes everything on her plate or has body hair or has small boobs?
fine.
All of it fine. You're not going to say anything because it's going to incriminate you.
Yes.
Okay.
Guess
All
who's
right.
gonna be listening to this show?
This story is a bunch of baloney that I'm not getting any
Sorry, I'm
honest
trying to.
feedback.
You are getting honest feedback, and I guess that I misinterpreted it because if it was me, I mean, body hair, like what if you get like a wild hair sticking out of your eyebrow or your
No,
nose?
I think what it means. Well, I think that yes, maybe if you have like your arm hair is like maybe hairy, but I think really what that's saying is hair down there, Kurt.
Oh, that's all
Like,
right.
okay, you know,
You-
move on to the next
Are you
story.
talking like from like back in the 70s? Maybe not that much. Beautiful people. Let's talk about beautiful people that don't have any body hair or sagging
That
pouches.
don't have to worry about any of those things, even though we know they do.
Yes. It's from People Magazine. Just came out with their uh is it the sexiest people? Most beautiful person. That's it. The world's most beautiful person. And do you know who it is? Well, you do know who it is. You've seen
I
the story.
do. And it's a
But
62-year-old, and I love it.
let me see if there's anything in here we can give as hints. I'm not perfect. I still drink Red Bull. I do love it, but not many, maybe one. I used to torture myself. I was so harsh and had a much more antagonistic relationship with my body. And straight up, I was really just punishing myself. Now she feels more intuitive and relaxed as a relationship with her body goes. And that would be,
Demi Moore.
yes.
I believe, and I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that there have been reports. She's had a lot of work done on that 62-year-old body, which is great. She looks fantastic. Like,
Hmm.
if you can and you want to, do it. And you can afford to, really, is more of the
Yeah.
thing.
But
Yeah.
I think where people get where the controversy comes in is like, well, I can't afford to spend X amount of thousands and tens of thousands of dollars on that. It's the standard. It's the Hollywood standard. It's like for everybody, this is how you're supposed to look. This is how thin you're supposed to be. And I think for most people, it's pretty unrealistic, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
You know,
But it's hard to have that. I don't know. It's because that's become the standard and that's what's publicized and that's what men see.
right?
And I think that
Men,
there's some
ugh.
expectation of some of that.
It's too bad. I actually dated well, I've dated many women over the years, and I'm very happy with how things have worked out with my current wife, who's awesome. But sometimes you meet somebody who's very petite and like, well, my boobs are too small. And it's like, well, this is kind of going back to the last story as well. It's like, no, you're perfect for your size, and so but I do that was when I found out, by the way, talking with her was the first time they said, we are bombarded, women are bombarded with print ads and billboards and TV ads with this perfect body that you're supposed to have. And that is not fair. So getting
Yeah.
back to Demi Moore, very attractive.
Congratulations. She is a
Yeah.
beautiful person for
I wonder
sure.
do they get any dollars for being the most beautiful person, or they
I
just
don't
get to
think
be
so.
most
They get the
beautiful?
cover of People magazine.
Oh, okay. Well, that's something. There's something to say for that.
I
Hang
didn't
on, I'm
even
trying
know
to find the
people
song
still
you wanted
read
for this next
magazines.
story.
Oh yeah, I know.
Are you ready?
Yeah. This isn't even about ghosts. It's just about being ghosted. So I told
Yeah, it's still a fun song to play for it.
Play this little song, Kurt Cruz.
All right. Being ghosted. One thing you should not do after being ghosted, it says. And one thing that you should do after being ghosted. We have these for you, especially if you're still dating, I guess. That's we didn't call it being ghosted when I was dating. I don't think the term was that. But also you didn't have to deal with so much that people just disappearing, I guess. I don't know.
It
Things
was
were different.
absolutely not called ghosted. This is a new term.
Right. What would you call it back then? So and so never called me back.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
being ignored. Like they dropped me like a hot potato.
Here's what they're saying you should not do when you've been ghosted. Basically, don't look for closure, no matter how much you want it. You can send, they say, one follow-up text checking in, but if they don't respond, that silence may be all the closure that you get. And that's very difficult for people. They just disappeared and that's it. I don't get a reason or a rationale or an apology or anything.
Let me just say this about ghosting. If you're a ghoster type, you probably shouldn't be in a relationship because you don't know how to communicate. I have strong feelings about this. Don't freaking ghost people. It's rude, it's
Mhm.
disrespectful, and grow up and use your words. If you're
Yeah,
not interested, say you're not interested. It would
it
be
is.
nice to know why you're not interested, but if you're not
Yeah.
interested, just say that and then move on. But don't like not get back to them. And I've had some friends who have had lengthy conversations, text conversations, and even phone calls and even dates with people. And then
Mhm.
all of a sudden, nothing. And it's like, WTF, dude.
Yeah, it's true. Don't be a well, also women, not just
No,
dudes.
for sure. In this example, it
Oh,
was,
the universal dude. Yeah, but they don't be a wuss. It's like, okay, well, communicate like you said. I did not know, but I understand you have such strong feelings about it because it's a crappy thing to do.
yeah. What should you do instead of looking for answers from the person who ghosted you? Check in with yourself to reflect on the relationship. Ask yourself things like, what did you like about the relationship? What did you not? What might you want in the future? And resist the urge to blame yourself for things going wrong, which is hard to do when you're ghosted because it's like, what did I do?
That's a tough one, like you said. Like you said, very, very difficult to do, but
And
hopefully you can do it.
ultimately, you don't want that kind of person anyway in your life because they're obviously not good communicators. And communication, as we all know, is key
It's
to a
key.
strong relationship.
And scene. The end. Thanks, Jen.
Mic drop.
How about
Money.
our question of the day from Wednesday? What's an expensive purchase that was totally worth it?
Man,
Your
I
question.
loved this question because I loved the answers.
Yes. And do you have an example?
I will share some as we go along.
You have an example from somebody else's response, by the way, in here. It's true. Okay. What's an expensive purchase that was totally worth it? Gerald says it's been a while for us, but totally worth it was the Nintendo Switch. It gives little James and I time to bond after work and school. Oh,
Love that.
Gerald's a good guy.
Leslie
James is a good guy. The whole family.
Leslie said a plane ticket to anywhere that's tropical. Yes. Laurel
Hmm.
said our train trip to Indiana to see our daughter and family. And Matthew said a side by side. Yes.
Do you know Matthew?
I do know
Is he
Matthew.
one of your side-by-side friends?
He bought a side by side after coming to Moses to the dunes and riding in a few of ours that have them.
What's the difference between real quick, a side-by-side and a dune buggy? Same thing?
No, I think dune buggies, I think, are the ones that are like lower to the ground. And side by sides have like big beefy tires and can go like over like big rocks and stuff.
Okay,
And
got
yeah,
it. Kate just sent a picture in of her dog. Looks like it's a golden retriever and a pretty perfect golden at that. Big old smile on its face. That's a good answer. Brian, our friend Brian, said LASIK
that's a
surgery.
good one.
Yeah, it was totally worth the money.
Jan said my Subaru Forester. James said my $1,000 fishing waders. He's a big fisherman.
Wow, I had no idea you could spend that kind of money on fishing waders, but good for him. Laura said the totally worth it expense was someone to mow my lawn
Yeah, so she doesn't have to worry
correctly.
about mowing it wrong.
Christy sent in a picture of her horse. I wish we had a name to go with that, but Christy's got a beautiful black
Beautiful.
pony, a horse in here with the white on his nose.
So
Aw.
cute. So pretty horse. Melissa said every trip I've ever taken. Yes, I agree. Andrea said Taylor Swift Eras Tour reseller tickets for the final show in Vancouver worth every lots of dollar signs penny.
I wonder how many, you know what? That'd be interesting to know. I think I'm sure it was totally worth it. I would be interested to know how much they spent, you
Oh,
know?
I mean, well, first of all, we know it's thousands of
Yeah.
dollars.
Jody, our friend Jody Boater, whose nickname is Jody Boater, she says a boat. Totally worth the expense that she paid. And Amanda, this is an interesting one. Amanda says it was worth it that we spent all this money. They got jackets they earned for being five timers on the Rock Boat. Like it says it's like a family reunion and adult summer camp rolled into one with some great soundtracks and a bunch of artists and bands. So they got the jackets for being five timers.
On a cruise ship. So it's pretty awesome. Yeah, I've heard
Nice.
about their adventures. Becky said Sugar Bowl tickets, Huskies beat Texas, Sugar Bowl champions. Lynn said vacation. Cindy said a new RV. And Halsey said our Polaris side by side, another
The
side
side
by
by side
sider.
again. Nice. Business class on a 12-hour flight from Patrick. Yes. Yes. When we went, Dana and I flew to for our honeymoon. We went to England. We were able to get business class tickets, and that was, man, that was
I,
something.
I just love all the unique answers, like where people come from. I think it says a lot. Like I love these. Like Jenny said, my Peloton. Barb said
Mm-hmm.
my home I bought after retirement, which is huge, right? And
Right.
MC, I love this engagement ring.
Oh,
An expensive
Matt.
purchase that was totally worth it. An engagement ring. That is the best answer ever.
Matt spent nearly $2,000 in 2002 on a Tempur-Pedic mattress that he's still using to this day. Good for you. Randy, Summer in Italy featuring Jen Pirak and hot firefighter boyfriend Pat. You guys all went to Italy together, and I know it was a great trip because I saw all the pictures you took.
Well, here's what happened. Randy and Carrie decided to take their kids, their three boys, to
Mm.
Italy for the summer, for the whole summer.
Mm.
And they said we want our boys to know the world is bigger than Bothell. And
It
they
is?
invited us on. They went to different areas throughout the summer, and on one of the areas they invited us to join in, which was such a blessing because I would never have done anything like that as much as
Yeah.
I wanted to. Anyway, keep going. Yes, that was totally worth it.
Karen's
Absolutely.
expensive purchase. My bed sheets were totally worth it. Maya said my new deck. And we have one more photo of a dog from Lane. I forget what he named his dog. It looks like it's a Siberian Husky. And I remember that Lane had posted on Facebook a while back that the dog had escaped or run away, but they did get him or her back in short order. So, yeah, three people with the dogs on here. I wonder if people don't usually consider that a purchase. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It is.
it is a purchase and it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say this, Kurt, and I know that you'll agree. I'm going to say we are so grateful when you respond because we love seeing your answers. It lets us get to know you a little better and
Right.
it gives us some show content too. And we love it and appreciate it so much. So thank you.
All right. Yes. And from the heart, absolutely. So,
Yeah, Kurt, this is all you because I've heard this before and you're like, maybe we shouldn't talk about this one. I'm like, I think that we should because it's a thing.
what seems silly on paper, pardon the pun, but they're saying the latest serious health risk is paper receipts. Not any paper receipts, but you get those ones that are, I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. Thermal, that's what it is. Thermal paper receipts. They have high levels of a forever chemical called bisphenol S or BPS,
It's
which is
similar
similar to
to BPA,
BPA
in
in plastics.
plastics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which we've been all, oh, you got to be BPA free with your class plastics. So now The BPS in receipts is disrupting hormones, I guess. It mimics estrogen and can throw off the normal functioning of the body, including metabolism, growth and development, and reproduction. And this is just from, at first I thought, well, are people like sniffing these receipts? Is that what it's doing? But
No, it goes
apparently,
into your, I mean, it absorbs
Mhm.
into your body right away through your fingers.
Right. Just 10 seconds, they say. Supposedly, holding a BPS lace receipt for just 10 seconds can have serious health consequences. Now, we don't want to get everybody scared about this, but it is something to know. Scientists have been researching this for a while. It's in the news now because the Center for Environmental Health, their study is the one that found that many retailers are using thermal receipts with overly high levels of BPS.
Okay, so now so they're planning to sue retailers who continue to use these without providing clear warnings on receipts. If
Right?
you're an employee who handles receipts, that's the other thing, right? The employees who are touching every receipt they're handing to other people.
Right.
They're telling consumers to decline paper receipts whenever possible. If you need a receipt, have it emailed to you if that's an option. Don't touch the receipt. This is a crazy story, but it's true.
Okay. And that's not the same as the band BTS, the K-pop group. They're fine. You can handle BTS with their permission, not the beep. Sorry. Here are meals and other things.
Risky meals, risky driving meals and other driving distractions because it's National Distracted Driving Awareness Month.
Okay. So we have, yeah, things that are risky. I thought it was going to be, they've done studies before that says, what are the riskiest foods to use to eat while driving? And they were like, things that you shouldn't be having while driving at all, like spaghetti or something.
Well, that's part of the story, though, because
Go
there's a
for
new
it.
report that 86% of drivers, I mean, that's a lot of us,
Yeah.
admit to being distracted by technology, usually by their phones.
Hmm.
But that isn't the only thing that is taking our focus off the road.
There's a
Here
few
are some other
others.
things. Yeah.
Getting ready while driving, that's a full like third of people admit to working on their appearance while driving, changing clothes, shaving, putting on makeup, and painting their nails. Among Gen Z drivers, that's about 50%.
I've been down the road and see a guy with their electric razor, like shaving
Oh,
while they're driving.
see, I'm so dopey this morning. That makes sense because I'm like shaving cream and shh.
Yeah, it's not like a woman's putting her leg up on the dash and shaving.
You know what? You never know, right?
That's real.
Eating while driving, a whopping 75% of people who eat while driving admit they've tried some risky meals like barbecue ribs or a bowl of hot soup. Come on.
Well, like
Come
eating
on.
spaghetti. I mean, I have been guilty of doing these things. I try to be better. And you know who I love Macy so much because she does hold me responsible for like, mom, let me do this, or mom, let me drive so that you can do this.
Right. Because Jen is a multitasker.
Creating content while driving. 75% people admit to this embarrassing distraction of filming videos or creating social media content while driving. I think it was, I can't remember if it was Riley, my oldest daughter, or Macy that told me that if they, how they put little things into social media where they catch, like the songs, right? You can't use songs.
Right.
I think that they try to, if you're moving, if they see that you're in a car moving, like they have some kind of technology, I think they'll take it down. You're not allowed to post stuff that you've taken while you're driving.
Good. Because all these things, any distraction while driving is bad, but these in particular. So finally, stress and anxiety, they say, about 2 in 10 drivers say stress from work or school or relationship issues can mess with their focus behind the wheel. That's where I think, yeah, I mean, I certainly am angry, and all of a sudden you say, oh, I'm supposed to be driving 65 here and I'm going 80,
Well, and I think 20% of people admit to that. I feel like there are many of us, if not all of us, you're driving down the road and you're thinking about your day or you're thinking about whatever, and suddenly you're like, oh my God, I couldn't tell you where I was, you know what I mean? What I just
Isn't that
saw.
something? It's like, or you're driving like, did I already pass the lake? It's like, oh yeah, I passed it 3 miles ago and I forgot completely.
Yeah.
There you go. That's some good pointers from the old Kent and Jen in the morning program.
Kent and Jen? CURT Jen.
Did I say Kent? Did I call myself Kent?
I feel like you did.
I probably did. I'm really tired today because you know what? When you have new puppies, you don't sleep so much.
I'm going straight to Fun Facts Friday.
Okay.
Does that
Good
sound
idea.
good to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Fun Facts Friday. There's some good ones here. Um, if you're a nervous flyer, this is unbelievable, Kurt, to me. If you're a nervous flyer, this will not help. The Savannah Hilton Head International Airport in Georgia has 2 graves embedded in the runway and 2 other graves next to it.
Hmm.
The land
Oh,
was
I see.
previously a private family cemetery. So they just put runways right over it.
Why would that freak you out?
I don't know.
There could be a hand that comes up through the runway and grabs the wheel of the plane. That's true, though.
Maybe look at it a different way. That means that if the souls have not, whatever, they're helping
Yep.
you be safe.
The first ever comic book, more Fun Fact Fridays, the first ever comic book convention was in 1964 in New York. The very first person to buy a ticket was a young man, 16-year-old George R.R. Martin. You may know him as the author of the Game of Thrones books.
I thought that was interesting. Okay,
Totally.
meerkats are more likely to kill each other than any other mammal. Almost 20% of meerkats are killed by members of the same species.
So meerkats are dicks. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I guess so.
More nickels were made in the year 1964 than any other year. People were hoarding them in 1964 because they mistakenly thought they were made with silver. So the U.S. meant increased production. About 3 billion nickels wound up being made.
Okay, the founder of Timex watches picked the name in honor of his father because his father loved reading Time magazine and using Kleenex. Get it? Timex.
I like it. Guinness Book of World Records holds a world record for being the best-selling copyrighted book of all time, even ahead of Webster's Dictionary, and I guess maybe not the Bible, but that's a different thing. Guinness Book of World Records. Also, in Quebec, I'm going to say it like they do in Quebec, it's illegal for a woman to take her husband's last name after they get married. What?
Yeah. There are at least twice as many kangaroos in Australia as people. There are about 50 million kangaroos and 25 million people. And Kurt, you've been there and you know that.
Yeah, they unfortunately, I mean, I guess they view they're like a pest, like we would have here with like, oh, there's too many rabbits. We got to get rid of rabbits. There's too many whatever. It's like they don't like them.
Golfers who win the Masters get to keep their green jacket for only a year, but then they have to return it. It gets put in a closet and then they can wear it when they visit from that point on. I did not know that.
Today is National Telephone Day, so in honor of that, we have a fun fact, which is there are more phones than there are people in the world. Over 9 billion people have phones, and then over 900 million have landlines still. I thought that was going to be like 37 people still have landlines.
I thought so too. I was surprised by that. You promised that you won't use Apple Music app to make nuclear or chemical weapons, and you don't even realize it. There's a line in their terms and conditions that you agree to that prohibits it. Isn't that funny?
What, you don't read that every time you see that updated? You have to agree to these terms. You don't read every single page?
I do not.
Neither do I. Hugo Boss. Before Hugo Boss became an international fashion company, they made uniforms for the Nazis. No one knew about this until 1997 when the company showed a list of Swiss bank accounts and the company admitted their Nazi ties.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Hugo Boss is a huge brand now. Okay, and finally, cats can actually survive drinking ocean water. Their kidneys can filter out the salt and use the water for hydration. Our kidneys cannot do that.
Cats are superior.
I mean, pretty much, I guess.
They think that they are superior to humans, without doubt.
Yeah. Movies opening this weekend. Accountant 2 with Ben Affleck. I want to see that.
Did you see the first Accountant?
I did see it, but I'm gonna have to revisit it because I don't remember it. I know I saw it though. It was good.
All right. We also have Until Dawn, The Legend of Ochi. I don't even know is it Oki or Ochi? I'm gonna say Ochi. And a Neighborhood Watch is in limited release with Jack Quaid, who's Dennis Quaid's kid.
There you go.
And Meg Ryan, I think. Also going on, if you want to watch the TV, the Seahawks. Well, the NFL draft is going on.
Oh yeah, yes. It's
started
big.
yesterday in sports. The Seahawks, they drafted a guy, North Dakota State guard Gray Zabel. He'll be a big old guy there at guard in the front line there. The second and third rounds of the draft start today at 4:00 this afternoon. Seahawks have 50 and 52 numbers overall in round 2, 82 and 92 in round 3. Here's cool news. The NFL announced the 2 Seahawks legends, Richard Sherman and Sean Alexander, will each announce a pick on today's draft.
That's cool. This is a big darn deal. The whole NFL draft thing has become such a thing. It's
Yeah.
crazy. The Mariners are in town this weekend playing the Miami Marlins, and the NBA Finals tournament is all weekend long. They're not in the finals yet. They're getting to the finals. It's like the whole bracket thing.
I wish I had interest in basketball. I've tried. I even tried playing when I was in high school.
Well, Kurt Cruz, when the Seattle Supersonics get back into town, you become a fan, okay?
Well, because we have Kraken season tickets, we will also be first in line to get those. Do you want me to get you some season tickets for the Sonics if they come back?
Yeah, I would like that.
Okay, you need to have some US dollars, all right?
No, I thought you were getting them for me.
Uh, what's happening around the PNW? Kylie Minogue is at Climate Pledge Arena tonight. You already have tickets for that. I don't know that it's sold out, but you can go see Kylie. Also this weekend, boats afloat on Lake Union.
Yeah, Evergreen State Spring Home Show in Monroe at the Evergreen State Fair. There's the Apple Blossom Festival in Wenatchee. I put that on there because that Apple Blossom Festival is big there. Jersey Boys at Village Theater in Issaquah.
Oh, yeah. We also got the Tulip Festival. The Skagit Valley Tulip Festival wraps up this weekend. If you haven't been up there yet, I say up there, wherever you're coming from, it's worth going to see.
Well, and I was there on, I can't remember what day earlier this week, Wednesday, and it's sparse. Like it's not as plentiful. The tulips are going away. So there might be one or two fields left, but not many.
Okay. And finally, the Long Beach Razor Clam Festival happens tomorrow and Sunday, if you're into the razor clams.
And what are you doing this weekend, Kurt Cruz?
I'm helping out, well, first of all, I'm going to be watching Puppies, which is a full-time job.
Yes.
And also we have an event. Dana and I are going to help out with the Soaring Spirits International. They have what they call a little pop-up get-together in Edmonds, about 200 people coming to that. So as always, when these things happen, like, hey, Kurt, you've got some lights and something. Yeah, so I'll be helping out with the AV on that.
And you're a DJ. Can you play some music too?
What about you? Oh, you know what? We were talking about Randy earlier. Randy was the guy with his wife, Carrie, who went to Italy for the summer. He's having his retirement party.
He just retired from Microsoft. He's one of those lucky early retirees. I mean, he just did all the right things, and he is retired, and we're going to celebrate that awesomeness. So we're doing that.
Wish I could be there. Wish I could be there.
I know. And then I'm just going to I have a walking date with some friends. I have a breakfast date with some friends. Pat and I are going to spend Sunday together. It'll be a good weekend. Yeah.
I love it. All right. Last but not least, we have the question of the day / weekend.
Yep.
I like this one a lot. I'm looking forward to the answers.
Okay. How is your significant other stored in your phone, and how is your name stored in theirs? And if it's boring and just their name, what would it be if you decided to change it?
And this, you know what? I remember the first time I heard about this with people putting and you tell me about this, Jen, when your friends are first dating somebody, they're all nicknames, right? Like, oh, that's big hair guy, or are you going to go see a horse dude this weekend or whatever, right?
That's true. I know. Yes, this.
Okay, so but then sometimes once those relationships work out, you keep the name in there as it was. So that guy's going to be horse dude, maybe even after he's the husband or so. Yeah.
What do you have for Dana?
The baby.
The baby. How are you and hers?
I think I'm Curdy.
Aw.
Yeah. What about you? How is Pat and you?
We're boring. Come on. We're boring. He has me as Jen Pirak, and I have him as Pat Kerr. And under occupation, I have, because this was when I first was dating firefighter.
Okay, nice. All right, so there you go. How is your significant other stored in your phone? How is your name stored in theirs? We want to know. We'll be back on Monday with a new episode, and we will have all your answers for that.
Yeah. Until then, have an awesome weekend, making great memories, make good choices, find joy, spread kindness, and laugh, because it's good for the soul. Thanks for joining us. Have a good one.
Bye.